Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It is March 17th, 2024. Happy St. Patrick's Day. We are in the Old Testament book of Nehemiah, and we're going to read chapter 2 today. All right. So Nehemiah comes maybe 13, 14, 15-ish years after Ezra has gone back to Jerusalem. So the altar was rebuilt, then the temple was rebuilt under Ezra, and the walls are still not rebuilt. So word comes to Nehemiah. It upsets him to know that there's no protection in Jerusalem. It's open to it's open to destruction again. And he's moved to tears, and he's moved to great sorrow. So what does he do in his great sorrow? Well, he takes it to the highest authority that he knows. And we found out in the reading yesterday that he is the cupbearer to the king of Persia. So he stands right next to the king of Persia. They talk amongst each other. They whisper in each other's ears. He's one of the king's greatest advisors. So who is the highest authority that Nehemiah can take this problem to? It's God, Yahweh. That's where we started our story. So he prays some more, and says, you know what, God, give me strength to do this. Give me courage to go talk to the king when the king is ready to hear it. And that's where we start here. The king's like, hey, what's wrong? And Nehemiah says, all right, this is what I've been praying for. And he lays out his argument that, hey, you know what? Somebody needs to go to Jerusalem and repair the walls and bring it back up to where it should be. And I'm the one that is going to go do it if you'll bless me and let me go. And the king does. The king says, great, take whatever you need. Nehemiah takes him 3 days to get to Jerusalem. We saw Ezra took a month. So Ezra took a month because he had to travel with women and children. Nehemiah took 3 days because he wanted to get there as fast as he could and as quickly as he could, because he understands, as we see in here, that there are some enemies that are trying to thwart this. And we start to get a confrontation with that, and that's kind of where this part of the story ends, and we're going to see more of the confrontation tomorrow. So let's go ahead and we're going to read Nehemiah chapter 2. And it came to pass in the month of Nisan, in the 20th year of King Artaxerxes, when wine was before him, that I took the wine and gave it to the king. Now I had never been sad in his presence before. Therefore the king said to me, why is your face sad, since you are not sick? This is nothing but sorrow of heart. So I became dreadfully afraid, and said to the king, may the king live forever. Why should my face not be sad, when the city, the place of my father's tombs, lies waste, and its gates are burned with fire? And the king said to me, what do you request? So I prayed to the God of heaven. And I said to the king, if it pleases the king, and if your servant has found favor in your sight, I ask that you send me to Judah, to the city of my father's tombs, that I may rebuild it. Then the king said to me, the queen also sitting beside him, how long will your journey be, and when will you return? So it pleased the king to send me, and I set him a time. Furthermore, I said to the king, if it pleases the king, let letters be given to me for the governors of the region beyond the river, that they must permit me to pass through till I come to Judah, and a letter to Asaph, the keeper of the king's forest, that he must give me timber to make beams for the gates of the citadel, which pertains to the temple, for the city wall, and for the house that I will occupy. And the king granted them to me, according to the good hand of my God upon me. Then I went to the governors in the region beyond the river, and gave them the king's letters. Now the king had sent captains of the army and horsemen with me. When Sanballat and the Horonite and Tobiah the Ammonite official, heard of it, they were deeply disturbed that a man had come to seek the well-being of the children of Israel. So I came to Jerusalem and was there 3 days. And then I arose in the night, and I and a few men with me. I told no one what my God had put in my heart to do at Jerusalem, nor was there any animal with me except the one on which I rode. And I went out by night through the valley gate to the serpent well and the refuse gate, and viewed the walls of Jerusalem which were broken down, and the gates which were burned with fire. Then I went on to the fountain gate and to the king's pool, and there was no room for the animal under me to pass. So I went up in the night by the valley and viewed the wall. Then I turned back and entered by the valley gate, and so returned. When the officials did not know where I had gone or what I had done, I had not yet told the Jews, the priests, the nobles, the officials, or the others who did the work. Then I said to them, you see the distress that we are in, how Jerusalem lies waste and its gates are burned with fire. Come, and let us build the wall of Jerusalem, that we may no longer be a reproach. And I told them of the hand of my God, which had been good upon me, and also of the king's words that he had spoken to me. So they said, let us rise up and build. Then they set their hands to this good work. But when Sanballat the Horonite, Tobiah the Ammonite official, and Geshem the Arab heard of it, they laughed at us and despised us, and said, what is this thing that you are doing? but you rebel against the king. So I answered them and said to them, the God of heaven himself will prosper us. Therefore we, his servants, will arise and build. But you have no heritage or right or memorial in Jerusalem. May God bless the reading of his word, and may God bless you. Bye.